Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Where
Hey,
we love to help you.
Or at least
Whoa.
pretend to.
Yeah,
nice
dear listener.
tagline, Owen.
Yeah, where we come to help you. There you
Yep.
go.
All right, this is the Geekshow Helpdesk where we talk about tech gadgets and science-related cool stuff. We're a little light on panelists today because James and Lando have better things to do, apparently. And
Yeah. They treat the audience as second tier in their
believe
lives,
that?
which
So,
we've never done before.
have
None
we-
of us
have-
have ever left.
No, have we ever
Yeah,
have we
Jared.
ever done a competition between the three of us of who can do the better James or Landon? Like, because maybe we'll just like do some voice
We
work,
might-
you know?
we might have to try that out.
Like if I talk like this, do I sound like Lando?
Whoa, that is so close.
I
First
like
I thought it was
music
me, but
editing.
then I'm like, no, that's Lando.
I am a sound editor who likes to have things just right. And
I don't believe
silly
he's
keyboard.
really a sound editor. Though. He claims he has been, but
Oh, don't touch
come on.
that. Don't go
Oh,
there.
he's
go.
going to come at you with fire in his
Dude.
eyes. You better,
Dude,
you better be careful.
that's his
He
neck.
never gets out of his
Don't-
house anyway. He's harmless.
Don't go after his bona fides.
That's his neck. That's his neck beard area. You don't want to stimulate that and
Don't
cause
pull on
some
those
sort of-
beard hairs.
No, sorry.
Well,
Lando.
let's talk about who is here, and the reason there's only three of us because those guys are out, and I was too busy playing Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield to get a replacement.
I believe the exact words were, "I didn't even remember."
You know, yeah, I
completely
can't-
spaced it.
No, Tony, I told you this is research for Geek Show Arcade.
That's right. That's what I'm counting it as. I can't be arsed to figure out to get someone else to
No.
do when I got games to play. Pfft, come on.
So the audience is screwed either way, right? Like
Yeah.
either one of us panelists gives you 1 day or 0 days of notice, or they give you a full 4.5 days of notice, and you forget anyway. Anyway,
Yep. That's the situation we're in right now with all the good games coming out lately.
they are.
All right. Here's Owen right here next to me. Hey, man.
Follow me on X, Twitter, whatever, at TechNoan, and on Blue Sky at TechNoan.
There you go.
There.
Right there down at the bottom, we got Jaron. He's feeling powerful on the bottom.
Loving the bottom. I'm a power bottom. You can find me on Twitter at Jaren, and the other social networks, which don't really seem to matter. We got a host. His name is Tony.
Hey, check me out on top. Like being on top. At Quad T Tony on the Twitter or the X's, and at Quad T at Blue Sky. So there you go.
Are you active on there? Do you post on there?
I post occasionally, yeah.
And I liked his last one.
Yep.
I
thanks.
don't even have a profile picture yet. I just did
Oh,
it to.
man.
I
Neither do I.
really just did it to burn Lando. Like I barely use Twitter, but
He was
getting
so mad
but,
about
But
that.
getting
Oh
Blue
my
Sky
gosh.
before Lando, like
3 days later in our chat, he's like, guys, I'm still frustrated. I'm
Like-
still bad about this.
I knew there was going to be a little bit of some emotion, some heat there, a little. But I thought it was going to be a little sweet heat. It was
No.
not. It was
awesome.
it was a little tangy and tart. He got a
I
little
was-
salty about it.
I
So
was
Some
dying.
people like tangy and tart better than sweet anyway.
yeah, there you go.
I like all the
But
flavors.
I
Yeah.
didn't really realize how deep it was going to go.
Oh, man.
He turned off his camera for a full 3 minutes.
It was
Or so.
hilarious. Go back and check that out if you don't know what we're talking about. The beginning of the last episode of Helpdesk, we pranked Lando pretty good. All right. Do we have any emails, Helpdesk?
Yeah, we got two.
Oh, nice.
Got one from Johnny. He says, based on last episode, thought it would be fun hearing your thoughts on sound systems. I am part of the Sonos Club myself and will never go back outside of speakers that are way above and beyond in cost. The Sonos Play bass paired with the Sonos subwoofer is one of the most clear experiences I've had. Zero issues with hearing dialogue in movies and shows. And then he said a follow-up quickly thereafter. Well, poopy. Only it wasn't poopy, it was the S word. And
Shoopy.
Shoopy. I should have listened more. You guys ended up going into it. Yeah, so Sonos is great, though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love...
I have one small beef with them. Is that
Oh?
if you use them in a corporate environment and they have to traverse VLANs, they are horrible.
Oh,
Horrible.
well, that's kind of not
Because
in the
they're
right use case anyway.
Yeah,
though.
well, little techie startups, they want to be cool, hip, have these fancy Sonos speakers, the ones that like all the cool kids are talking about. like the ones Jaren are buying. Like we want to emulate Jaren, Tech
Do?
Bro. Yeah.
Oh.
And
No,
I had to
tech,
build
bro.
in. Anyway, but they don't traverse VLANs very well, and so I had to build some VLANs because of reasons, and
Especially for those.
and they can't now on the employee network, and they can't traverse the system. Sucks.
That is weird.
It's not
That's
fun.
Pretty
It's not-
basic.
It's not fun.
Pretty basic networking right there.
Yeah. It's fine in the app, but on the
Yeah.
on the web browser. Anyway, that's my only thing. I love their sound though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
will say.
they make great like single speakers, like your Echo Dots, only a lot more high end, and they also
sub,
make home theater
Grouping
stuff too.
the
That's
groups, like being able to group stuff, like the functionality. Oh, it's awesome.
I looked very closely at doing a Sonos setup before I got my Samsung Q990C or whatever they're on for
The price
2023.
is the price what pushed it for you.
Well, yeah, I got a really good deal on the Samsung stuff. They had like a 1-day sale kind of a thing that I
okay.
took advantage of. So I got it for like $1,100, normally $1,800.
Yeah, that's worth it.
I still spent way less than it would have cost for the Sonos setup that I
Even
was
at full
looking
price,
Yeah.
isn't even at full price. If you would have paid the 1,800, you would have been under Sonos'
Probably.
setup.
But I've been very satisfied with those so far. And the other one I was looking at, I was thinking about going really spendy, was the Nakamichi Dragon home theater setup that just released like a month ago. You can check it out. It's $3,500.
I want it. Has the name
But-
Dragon in it.
Yeah, but it comes with, I mean, a lot of people don't know Nakamichi much anymore these days, but they've been around for a long time. They're a Japanese audio company. They're not the same Nakamichi that was around in the 80s and 90s, but they're still very high quality. And you can find some reviews on this thing, and it just blows everyone's minds that plays with it.
It's a sound bar.
It's a sound, but it's got a big sound bar, two 12-inch subwoofers, or they might be 10-inch.
Dude, that's actually not that bad of a deal.
Right,
Like if
when
you
you
if you
consider-
compare it to a full home theater setup,
yeah.
where you need a receiver, sub, buy all the
Right.
speakers separately.
And then it's got rear speakers. I want to say it has side speakers too. And then
Nice.
they've got up firing and everything to do the Atmos, and it's amazing. But I just didn't want to shell out the 35 hundo.
Pay the price for that.
Yeah, maybe years down the line, but I like sound bars and stuff like that. I think they're really convenient when you don't want to have to punch holes in your wall if you don't have cable already ran and things like that.
Well, also one cool thing about Sonos too is that they have a trade-in program, like a recycle program that at least
where they bend you over when you trade it in, and then they resell it for a lot more as refurbished,
absolutely most likely.
just like
but
Apple does.
Now they had those Sonos Plays. I had a couple Sonos Plays, and they want to push you to the new ones. I had like the Play 2 or the Play 3, and they wanted to push to the Play 5, and they just basically they say, hey, this is out of support. We're not doing any more patches or upgrades or anything for this, and so it's end of life. And if you basically you agree. They got in trouble for this originally because when you agreed to give it to them, they would brick it. So they would send a command.
Oh,
They
just
would
e-waste it basically.
to brick the speaker, and you're like, no, I'm still using it. Or if people sold it and they tried to, and like, so what people are doing is they would trade it in or whatever and then sell it. Or anyway, they got in some trouble. They had to stop doing that. But basically they market that serial number. And MAC address gets marked as recycled, and so if you ever try and like do any warranty on it or work on it, or it's in a database that they can see it. Anyway, they give you like 15% off or 10% off of your next device, and
better than
it
nothing.
compounds, right? So if you've got a whole setup, it's per device. Anyway, so I saved like 25% on a soundbar.
Nice.
Because they bricked one of your devices. That doesn't
Well,
sound
no,
like a good deal to me.
No. This was after that. They didn't
They'd
brick
already
my
learned
devices.
their lesson.
Yeah, they stopped
okay.
bricking them after you
Right.
traded them in. So
Another email from Lang. He says, "Dear helpers of the desk, last week there was, well, let's just call it what it was, a tantrum from Landon. The argument was that he didn't show up, in quotes, the week before and therefore had not earned a Blue Sky invite. I would like to argue that I have given consistent comedic content to the podcast, as well as gifts for the panelists since the inception of this masterpiece. Has landed? I do not believe so. He's right.
Is Lang vying for a blue sky invite here?
I would ask the panelists to please reconsider the invitation that was obviously undeserved and revoke it so I can have it. With all the sarcasm that I possess, Lang. You know what? Lang gets my next blue sky invite.
I might have another one by now, so I could hook him up. Let me see. I might have another one. I do not. But when I get one, I'll let you know. Or Jaron or Owen, whatever.
Yeah, whoever.
Cool. Thanks for writing in. All right, let's see. So, apparently they had another thing in Germany.
I have an invite code. Lang, it's yours.
Oh, there you go. They had another thing in Germany after Gamescom in Cologne, and this is called IFA, not Intermountain Farmers Association, like all of us here.
Let me tell you how long it took me to
that
figure that
means.
out. Let me tell you, I had to go to page 3 of Google before it started giving me results that were not Intermountain Farmers Association.
Like, wait a minute, what the heck is this?
Because I'm here in Utah in the Intermountain West. IFA is a store out here for chicken feed and farm supplies.
But it actually is in Europe, Internationale Funkausstellung Berlin. Where's the A?
That's
I don't know. IFB.
I know. Look, dude, I spent a lot of time on this. I went to a lot of websites. Internationale Funk. I'm gonna phonetic. Funkausstellung Berlin. That's really close.
You got to be careful when you're saying that word.
Funkausstellung. You be careful when you say anything in German. Really,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
the
so
truth.
dangerous. It's so gruff.
Oh, he sounds so angry.
That translates to International Radio Exhibition, by the way.
Naturally.
So you got IFB and IRE. I'm still waiting for IFA, but hey, you can go look at the wiki right here. It's got a pretty long history, actually. This has been their kind of consumer products, convention for many, many, many years.
Nice.
So
they a lot of companies take advantage of that every year and announce some new stuff because it's a nice kind of middle of the year area, maybe a little bit later in the year, early fall, late summer, and puts it, in between CES times. But the announcements aren't usually as big or exciting as CES because it doesn't have as many eyeballs. However, there was some interesting gems that we found here. One of them, it would have been awesome if it was released in 1995, is a suitcase TV from
it's
LG.
a suitcase. The LG Stand By Me Go.
I am into this. This looks awesome.
It it was. I can't take.
But are you guys seeing the picture of it, like in the back of a Cooper Mini here, like with them camping and like watching it?
No, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's a 27-inch TV in
4K,
a suitcase,
right?
No, it's
20
1080p.
Oh, 20 watt, 4-channel speaker.
It's got to be OLED, right?
It's in a briefcase.
LCD.
Yeah.
LCD 1080p. That's what I mean. Like this doesn't.
I hate
make
this
any
thing.
sense.
Jared's like,
Even if you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Van life folks and things like that might be able to use it. It's 1080p LCD. It's not even like.
This is the new small form factor glamping. Glamping used to be where you pulled up in a 600-foot trailer that was basically your house.
600.
Yeah, and you were pulling it with a 4,000-pound behemoth, and you basically rolled it out and it plopped down a house. But now there's this new small form factor glamping, which is like
Yurts.
Yeah, or you use your car for everything, and you just like strap a tent on the back of it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Like a skirt.
No.
Yeah.
The executive's child designed this. This
You think
this
so?
is what
This
I'm
is
convinced.
what this looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember my Fisher Price thing? I want to make one of those.
I want to make a big one. 27-inch 1080p LCD, $1,000, $999.99.
3 hours of battery.
Yep, you get 3 hours of battery on there.
Like the actual tech in that is probably under $100.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah, it's
sure.
just a giant tablet.
To
Most of it's-
manufacture.
Yeah,
probably the most expensive piece on this is the briefcase they
The
put
hinges,
together.
right?
That looks like a nice quality.
It
like,
looks like a
container.
solid briefcase. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But,
man, I could have. Can you imagine? This
suitcase.
would have been. This is perfect for Mission Impossible movies back when they first came out. Like the
Yeah,
first.
they'd whip this out
Yeah.
and look all. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. I wish I could take credit for that 1995 joke, but I saw it on Twitter. But yeah,
Oh.
if this had shown up in the late 90s, people would have been like, "Oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
future is
Oh,
here."
Yeah.
And now,
Yep.
though, when you go camping or whatever, you just take your iPad or your laptop, and that's what you watch your shows on.
Yeah.
You know. So
27-inch. Like
that's
taking one of those Mac displays and just like plop it in the back of your car.
Yeah.
Here.
pretty much. Let's see. Also in the screen monitor area, we got a weird. I thought these were gone. Apparently, Lenovo thinks they're going to make a comeback. 3D monitors.
So yeah, have you guys? So they're not new tech.
No,
Right.
this has been around for
Like they're
10,
they're-
15 years longer.
but here we are, Lenovo making this big old 3D monitor, and I was looking at it and I'm like, wait, that'd be kind of cool. And they talk about how it's slightly different. They did not reply to Ars Technica when they were asked, but basically
So this is
tech-
basically using like Nintendo 3DS
This
technology.
is
right?
Parallax. This is Parallax
exact-
tech.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you it's got like a built-in iris scanner, iris reader.
so it's got eye tracking,
eye tracking,
make
Tobii eye tracking, and it shifts the pixels to work better from different angles when it sees you're looking at it from like
So it does both. It
Off-center.
does the parallax stuff and it does
and eye tracking.
That's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
so it kind of is a new version, basically using both of those technologies together. And I thought, how would that work? Because did you guys? I mean, you guys obviously played the 3DS, right?
Yeah, I had
that made
one.
me sick. The parallax stuff that made me ill. Like
yeah, it does
I
not work for. I mean, it does. It hurts some people's brains basically.
Yeah.
Hurts their
For
eyes.
me, I was like, oh man, I couldn't do it. So, but yeah, so Lenovo's trying to go out and get into the 3D screen. It's going to be selling their 3D monitor. It's going to start in January for $3,000.
$3,000.
$3,000. I mean, you don't have to have any glasses either. Like you don't have
No,
to wear
it's-
any special glasses. Which
Yeah.
It's
Like the
glasses
3DS. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
so-
1920 by 2100,
Yep.
3D, and
So it can
regular
also-
4K 2D.
Yeah, so it can act. That's another thing that's unique about this one is it can do 3D, and it can also go back to just being a 2D monitor. So 3D at 2K, 4K is you can do in 2D. So
I'm not seeing any eye tracking on this. I think it's just the parallax.
maybe they didn't. I thought that it said that it.
They
did
would
do the
be
eye tracking.
foolish to not put eye tracking in this. That would
Where
be
did I see that? I think it was IFA. I'll have to find it. I thought
right
that-
there, featuring
no,
a
no, yeah, you're
lentacular
right.
lens and real-time eye tracking.
The second sentence, which I didn't read because I thought it was in
Yes.
the third paragraph.
Well, you know, sometimes it's in the second sentence.
Yeah, that's why I knew it. That
That's
part.
right.
Owen was sweating though.
I was like, no, Jared's calling me on it, and I can't remember it.
Oh, dang it!
Uh,
Flashbacks, like
But yeah, the lenticular lens in the monitor is switchable, allowing for 2D normal viewing and whatever. So there you go. But there's a bunch of other Lenovo did a bunch of stuff at IFA too.
yeah, they showed off the no, that was
the
at
Lenovo-
Gamescom. They showed off
no,
the
they-
Lenovo
The Legion
Go.
Go.
Yeah, they
They
had
did talk
their-
about that, which we'll mention in Arcade. I have a story
Yeah.
about that in Arcade.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
cool.
cool.
Yeah, because that's on there. But there's a bunch of other. Here's some other IFA stuff real quick. I'm gonna run through the top devices that were out there. Now, Tony, some of these are right in your wheelhouse. The
I like things in my
Jabras.
wheelhouse.
Got a new Jabra 10, the Jabra Elite 10s, and the 8 Active. $250, you know, and
That's their
they're
average
Tony, you're
price
gonna have to
for
get
those.
them.
Nope, not doing it.
Jabra's combining a new 6 microphone setup, Dolby Atmos support,
Fair.
and its noise cancellation algorithm, which it calls Jabra Advanced ANCTM. We got a new ScanWatch 2. Did you ever do the Withings ScanWatch? Anyway,
Nah.
it's kind of like a mix of analog and digital stuff. So it's like a marriage of the two.
Oh, okay.
This was in Jaren's wheelhouse. Ready? This is the XGIMI Horizon Ultra projector.
Oh, the XGME?
Yeah, XGIMI. Is that what it's called? Sorry, I don't.
That's the way I read it in my brain. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
so the
naturally.
XGIMI, a 200-inch image, 60 hertz mode.
Is it like a portable projector, battery powered?
No, it's a long throw.
Oh,
It's one you mount on your ceiling.
It's also the world's first long-throw projector supporting Dolby Vision.
oh, that's interesting.
$1,700 is not a terrible price, actually.
Yeah.
Not bad.
For something like that.
JLab JBuds Mini. So there's
I have
some
an
more
article
earbuds.
about these. Yeah, they're
We
tiny.
got the Shure Aonic 50 Gen 2. It looks like a over the ear headphones.
Yeah.
So a lot of sound stuff for you, Tony.
Yeah, I looked through all of it.
Open that up. How about the Casetify Ultra Bounce? It has a 32-foot.
Oh, you're breaking up, Owen.
Oh, how's that? Am I better?
Well, I mean, nope, still breaking up.
Why don't you talk about the JLab JBuds Mini, Tony?
Yeah, and how about you reboot and come back? Okay. So the JLabs JBuds Mini. Owen's sad now.
Sad Owen.
He'll be back in a sec, though. So they're pretty, as far as like what they do, they're just kind of your bog standard Bluetooth devices. What's interesting about these Bluetooth earbuds is they're tiny. I linked a picture, or I linked to the actual purchase page on JLab's
Ooh, they are tiny.
website, so you could see they have a picture of them in a hand, and I have to assume that that's a normal size hand and not my size hand. But the way you can kind of tell is, Owen, did he go? Oh, he froze. Yeah, so he went. There's a picture of it next to an SD card, a standard size SD card.
Wow.
And it is close to the same footprint as an SD card, obviously much thicker because it has to house the battery and the earbuds themselves when the lid is closed. But yeah,
Oh my gosh, I want these.
and they're only $40. They're not
So-
crazy expensive.
The way I imagined wireless earbuds to be size-wise is this.
Yeah.
Like before they came out, you know? This is fulfilling the dream.
See, this is something I might actually pick up because they're only $40. You know, I'll review a set of these since they're only $40. That's not bad, but I don't got the kind of dough to throw down $250 on a whim for
Even has
reviewing
multi-point
something.
connectivity.
It's got multi-point connectivity. It has
Wow.
audio pass-through. It does not have active noise canceling, but it does have audio
not for that
pass-through.
price.
Yeah. And it's IP55 rated, so splashing, dust, all that stuff, you're good. You're good to go.
Dang.
So
This
yeah,
is a nice
these
package.
are actually pretty cool. 5.5 hours battery in each charge, and then the charger holds another 15 plus hours. So you're really not sacrificing that much battery wise on these either. So
Yeah.
I'm quite interested in these. If they sound good, then this could be the new go-to pick for cheap earbuds.
Yeah. It supports Google Fast Pair, which is nice.
Yep. And they're in ear. So it would be, in my opinion, it would be something like these would be, if they're good, they'd be your go-to in-ear cheap earbuds. And for your outer ear earbuds, or for your non-ceiling earbuds, your go-to cheapies would be like the Mi Pebbles or the Amazon Echo Bud 2023s.
The case also has a key ring on it, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool because it's small enough to be part of your keys.
Exactly. I've seen people's tchotchkes on their key rings that are bigger than this, you know, like big old keyring toy things and stuff like that. So really cool looking.
Nice. Looking forward to that review.
I'll pick one of those up, I think. All right. So let's talk about this. This one had me curious, Jaron. What do you have here about renewing domain names? Is that someone get caught with their pants down?
This is a fantastic story. So
Owen's back.
How about now?
Sound good.
Sound good so far. A grocery store chain, Lidl. It's based in the UK and I think elsewhere in
I
Europe.
think it's called Little.
Oh yeah, it might be LIDL.
Yeah.
You guys make your own choice there.
That's how the people in Scotland pronounced it anyway.
I never
when I
heard
was
anyone
in
actually
Scotland.
pronounce it.
Liddell.
Little.
Anyway, this grocery chain,
If I remember correctly.
they sold this particular line of Paw Patrol snacks. And on these snacks, on the wrappers, it linked out to a website, appykidsco.com.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they forgot to renew the domain name.
Uh-oh.
And someone else got it, and it linked to pornography.
Oh no.
And as a result, they are issuing a recall on all of these snacks because of the
of the
dangerous
website.
link on it.
Yeah.
I might have some of these.
How
It's
would you
not-
have some of these?
It's
in
not
the
sold
US.
in the States.
Oh, I
man.
have.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I think we might have some Paw Patrol snacks. I didn't. I
Oh
probably don't
yeah,
have
I'm
these
sure
ones.
there's lots of different kinds, but these
Yeah.
ones specifically are in the UK.
I've never heard of a recall due to pornography, but
Now
There you go.
have. Wow.
so renew your domain name.
Keep
everyone.
those domains up to date, folks.
That's my favorite thing that happens. I mean, except for when the president, the campaign of the, anyway, except when it happens in politics to the candidates that I'm supporting. That really
Except for when it happens to things you like.
me, yeah, basically when it happens to me.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. Also, Jaron has on here that the Pixel event has been announced.
New Pixel 8's coming pretty soon. It's the event is October 4th, so mark your
like a month away.
calendars. Yeah, I hope. How have the last devices held up? Because typically in the past, Pixel devices would come out, they'd get generally positive reviews, and then over the course of the year, they would just degrade, whether it be software or something with the hardware.
So
I'm using the Pro. I'm using the Pixel 7 Pro.
And how's it been?
You know, the Pro it's good. I love the camera. I hate the battery life, but that's just because I'm coming off the OnePlus. If I was a normal person, it's comparable to Samsung's battery life. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, we got my son the Pixel 7a, and it has been rock solid. Like that phone has been great. Kind of mid range. It's not it's not the banging all the bells and whistles and everything, but
Yeah, that's good.
the other issue with 7 Pro has been the overheating, which they always struggle with.
yeah.
I mean, I was just out in standard ambient. The ambient temperature was pretty hot. We were like 95. Okay. So it was pretty hot outside, but my phone started telling me, nope, your quality of your videos is going to be degraded. When I was trying to take like 4th of July pictures, quality of your video is going to be degraded because the device is too
Video
hot.
or pictures?
Both, but I was trying to take a video, but
Wow,
it pops up a notice
jeez.
and says, "Hey, it's too hot. Sorry, we're going to degrade the quality." And they were garbage, like poopy video. And so I've had to I carried an ice pack around with me so I could cool it off.
For your phone.
Yeah, for my phone. And that was kind of one of the known things that the 7 Pro has been dealing with. We'll see if they do better on the thermals.
Well, that's
Because
the
in the-
thing is,
They've done it with the past two. Their other devices got too cold and just shut off. I had the Pixel. I had the original Pixel and the Nexus, whatever that one was before. So
All right. Well, they're still going through teething pains, even though they're
4
They're
pretty
generations
much
in.
number
an
Five.
adult now.
5.
number 8.
They need a root canal or something. Maybe their wisdom teeth are coming in. When does that happen? When you're 16?
Yeah, around
So-
there, 16 to 18.
So maybe
My
this is
wife's
just their wisdom teeth.
got a 7 Pro, and she's been really happy with hers.
Yeah.
So that's
I like
good.
it. I love
She-
it. Like I do love the straight Google feet system feel. They did great with that, but some glitches for me.
So we'll be seeing the 8s in October.
Yep. And speaking of Pixel, about 22 months ago, Google unveiled Pixel Pass.
Add it to the graveyard.
It was a payment plan where you spend like $45 per month. You get a Pixel 6, YouTube Music Premium, 200 gigabytes of Google One storage, preferred care for your coverage for your phone, other random stuff. Anyway, the point is you pay this fee every single month and you can get a free upgrade every 2 years.
It's basically like leasing your phone.
Yeah. Well, the first 2 year has yet to lapse, and they've already killed it.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Really? So people that actually
Yes.
did pay for the original service.
Yep, haven't even been able to use it.
Well,
I'm sure that they probably did actually.
The warranty
the
piece
six,
of it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
and stuff.
the Pixel
And
6s.
Google's letting them keep their phone, and they're giving them $100 gift card for stuff.
Woo.
And they did get the coverage to the other services. But yeah, the dream of paying a monthly fee and upgrading your phone never came to pass.
Never happened.
Well, Apple's got that, right? They've had that for a couple years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Google just sucks when it comes to
keeping things going long term besides their search
I feel
engine.
like this
products.
is the thing. I feel like literally everything is a pet project at Google. And as soon as the developer, whoever's pet project it was, decides to leave or transfer to another department, they're
It's
like,
gone.
it's
Yeah.
gone.
That's what-
And that's the
what it
only
feels
thing that
like.
accounts.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that counts for how fast some of these projects go and are born and then die. It's like we are literally watching the internal organizational structure of Google shift around as people move through the company. So
yeah, like outside of search, Android, Gmail, and Docs, maybe how can you
Yeah.
trust any of the things they make? It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Android, another company has a pretty freaking cool thing going, and I wish they'd release it in the U.S. Not because I'd actually buy it, but I might think about buying it. Owen's talked about this company a little bit in the past, Fairphone. Fairphone 5 was announced, and you can check out a video of a stress test on it or a durability test on Jerry Rig Everything's YouTube.
Oh
video,
yeah, are these like
YouTube,
the modular? Like they made it.
no,
they
they're not
designed
modular. They're not
but they
modular.
but they designed to be repaired.
Yes,
Okay.
they basically built a phone that can last a long time because everything in it is user replaceable, and they sell all the parts to replace stuff.
So it's like what's that laptop company?
Helios or
No, framework.
Framework, but for
Framework, yeah.
phones. This is
Yep.
awesome.
And this is their 5th version, so they've been around for a while.
is it
So
upgradable though? Is
Framework
is
is like
it's not-
Fairphone, but for laptops.
Yeah, exactly. It's not upgradable per se. At least they
'Cause that
haven't really
was-
talked about that. That was that's more of a framework thing. They brag about that.
What was that
but
phone that did that though? Our
it never got off the ground. It was
Yeah,
a
it never
Google
got-
project that got canceled.
Another pet project.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? It was
Project
completely
Aria, I think.
Aria.
Aria.
Aria. Yeah,
Project
something like
Aria.
that.
Yep. So
Yep.
this one, and it's all very easy to access too. The battery on this. Do you remember how you used to be able to open up the back of a phone, pop a battery out, and put another
amazing.
battery in if you want? Yeah, that's how this is. You can
Wow.
you can
Oh,
open up the
nice.
back without any screws, and just grab the battery and put a new battery in.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice looking phone too. It's not like
Yeah, it's
gross
thicker.
brick. It's nice,
So it's thicker, but,
but not
it's
noticeably so.
well designed, you know.
Yeah.
And if you
Well,
click
this is
on
like
the
a
last,
slap in the face. This is a slap in the face to the industry, right? Because
Oh, yeah,
their
for
whole
sure.
thing is that phones are disposable.
Mhm.
You only keep a phone for 3 years, 5 years if you're a masochist, right?
Look at the very last picture on this article. It's on this Ars Technica article, and it shows the phone taken apart.
Yeah.
You can replace the screen easily. You can replace
Every
the
sensor.
motherboard usually. You can replace all of the audio visual sensors. You
Ah,
can
sweet.
replace the freaking speaker. You can replace the USB-C port. All of it. All of it is user replaceable, and they sell you all the pieces at a reasonable price.
And what I like is that it does leave room for an improved battery.
If they wanted
right?
to, they
if they
could,
wanted
yeah.
to, they could, like, same form factor. They just
Yep.
because it's removable, you could get a bigger battery when tech improves.
Yep.
You know, in
And
10
that is
years.
that is the only, since it's removable and they have to actually design this in a way that it can be taken apart and replaced piece easily. The battery is a little bit smaller than what you'd expect from a expensive phone. But that being said, the phone isn't that expensive either compared to a lot of phones out there. So first things first, the battery comes in at 4,200 milliamp hours.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. 5,000 is kind of the gold standard. I'd say 4,000 to 4,500 is where you got to be for sure, though. And so this is 4200, kind of in the middle there. 8 gigs of RAM, 256 storage. It's got a micro SD card slot, side fingerprint reader. Now, here's the weirdness. It uses a specific Qualcomm processor in it that is from their industrial IoT line of processors.
Bunch of fridge got cannibalized for these phones or something.
No, much more powerful than what you'd find in a fridge. It basically equates out to like a Qualcomm Snapdragon 768 or something like that, 778. So one of their higher end mid-range CPUs. But the reason they went with this specific CPU is because in their industrial IoT line from Qualcomm, they support longer firmware updates and Android updates with it. So Qualcomm guarantees 5 years of updates to that SoC, which is 2 or 3 years longer than what they do for the other one. I think it's 2 years longer than what they do for the other ones. But then Fairphone themselves have committed to 8 to 10 years of OS updates on these phones.
Right.
So that
above and beyond the firmware updates of what Qualcomm's.
Well,
guaranteed.
I mean, yeah, because they stop at 5. So anything after 5 will be
software updates
done from the Fairphone side. And so it says, I thought I read, and I can't find it right now, but I thought it said it supports 5 full OS upgrades. And then after that, it would be like security updates and stuff like that. But I could be wrong. It might be longer than that on full OS upgrades. So, but I know it's 5 minimum, but still, it's not going to be a speed demon or anything, but that chip's plenty fast with 8 gigs of RAM and 699 euros. So about 750 bucks.
90 hertz
90
OLED,
hertz
OLED screen.
display.
Yeah. That's great.
It's got mid-range stuff, Wi-Fi 6E, NFC sub 6 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz support, and Bluetooth 5.2. So it's kind of just like middle of the road as far as the hardware
I would say
stuff
it's
goes.
upper middle,
for sure. Yeah.
But the fact that they sell every part separately and are going to support the OS for that, support the software on it for that long, is just really cool. For $700, like I said, I don't know for sure if I'd make a switch. But if I was paying for my own phone, if it wasn't work purchased, I would consider this if it came out in the U.S.
Well, my only problem is now you are dependent completely upon them to stay in business, and if something happens
I don't think that's
to
going to
this
be
type
a problem.
Same with framework on their laptops. I'm like, you guys better stick around with all your parts and cool upgrades. So
that's true.
So.
Here it is. Yeah, it's an octa-core processor. You got 4 Cortex A78 cores and 4 Cortex A55 cores. So it's got the big little style. And Adreno 642L GPU. So yeah, there it is. A Snapdragon 778G with slightly higher clocks. So yeah, upper mid range. Yeah. So. Anyway,
that price is not bad.
Yeah, for that price, I thought that was really cool, and I wish they would come out of just Europe. So,
you think they're incompatible over here on our frequencies?
No, not even a little bit. I don't think that's the problem at all. I think they just don't want to.
Somebody over in Europe, I'll have them buy me one and send it out, bring it over.
Yeah, I think more than anything, they just don't want to have the hassle of supporting the other side of the world yet with tech support and stuff like that.
Plus, we're pretty touchy about that. Americans are pretty touchy about their tech support. I couldn't reach you.
Us? Come on.
Yeah. Maybe that's everybody.
Let's see. Jaron, tell us about the new Model 3. This came out of nowhere.
There's been rumors for the last couple of months for those in the know.
Of nowhere.
Project Highland. It's a redesigned Model 3, not completely redesigned. The biggest changes are in the front area, bumper area, and in the back. The rest of the car maintains its shape pretty much.
I think it's a better looking front end.
I actually like the original better.
You just say that because you have an original.
Yeah, but whatever. Your taste may vary. All right.
Fair.
But the is more aerodynamic, and therefore it results in higher range.
Yep.
much higher range, surprisingly, 421 miles for the long range model.
That's
and
awesome.
Before it was like 350, I believe, for their current Model 3s that they were selling. So big boost in range.
It's got to be due to more than just the front end changes. There's got to be.
They're saying it's the same battery pack.
What? Same motors too?
Uh-huh.
What the freak? That's wild.
Yep. Crazy. They redesigned the interior a bit. There is now a screen in the back for changing the climate or to watch movies if you have little ones.
That's how we get climate change? It's been as easy as just use a screen this whole time? What are we so worried about with our world?
What are we so worried about?
That was a great joke, Jaron. And you know it.
It was. Yeah, is all right.
You know it.
Anyway, the front dash, the front screen is slightly changed as well. I think it has smaller bezels. It's not really certain here. But anyway, there's some additional LED lighting in the front. So it goes on sale this fall in Q4, I believe. There you go.
Improved Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity, 17 speakers instead of 14.
Yeah.
A bunch of quality of life stuff. Yeah. Little quality of life things.
Some Cybertruck news too. There was some more spotted trucks spotted in the wild.
Ugh, that thing is going to be a disaster.
And now they
think it will be too. Actually,
It's
and I was kind of rooting
ugly.
for it.
It's
so ugly.
It's
not
great.
I don't know what they changed, but looking at what they're putting out now versus what they showed off on the stage, it just does not look
It's a triangle
as good.
on wheels because they didn't have. I don't think they had side mirrors on what they had on stage. Neither a giant windshield wiper, singular. They have one windshield wiper that covers the entire windshield.
Well, deliveries are supposed to commence this month for those, and some people have spotted these out there in the wild, and the pictures are great on the back of this one. It says, "How's my driving?" and it says, "Call 1-800 Elon Musk." Elon Musk. But yeah, there's some people have been noticing the VINs. There's going to be like a dual motor variant, so 1 or 2 motors. So
I thought they were going to offer a tri-motor.
Probably
when they announced it, I thought, but maybe I'm wrong.
But they to make it street legal, they had to put those mirrors on and fix that ugly wiper blade situation. So, yep, we'll see this month if we start seeing those actually delivered.
Looks like a car that didn't fully load in Cyberpunk. That's what it looks like.
I know that people. I know that when the Monte Carlo, or no, what was that? What's that truck car? Come on, car guys. Twyman's out there. El Camino. When the El Camino hit the market, they're probably saying the same thing.
But the El Camino,
and look where it ended up.
The El Camino looked cool. I thought this looked cool at first, but
smashing a metal ball through the window was pretty cool.
I don't know what they did to it that just like softened it up or something. It's just
now it looks
anymore.
Yeah, it looks like an accident. That's what it looks like. It looks like we got some scrap metal here. Let's polish it up.
Back to the Model 3, one last change for the negative. They got rid of the stocks. So you can no longer switch to drive or reverse.
Really?
Why is Tesla obsessed with ruining the steering wheel in their cars?
I don't know. Like they did that already in
simple thing.
In the S and the X, I believe. But they retained the stocks in the Model Y and 3 up until now.
What are the stocks?
Your blinker stock, so you can just flick it.
Oh, off the side. Oh
yeah,
no,
behind
right?
the steering wheel.
How do you do
it's
it
all
now?
buttons now.
Oh,
I think
paddles?
the blinker one still has to be there, doesn't it? For the law.
I don't know. I just think that first off, when they doing that is just ridiculous, and then trying to sell the steering yoke instead of
Which
a steering
was a huge
wheel
disaster
in a car that has 900-degree turning on the steering wheel. That's just stupid.
People are like, wait, how do I?
All you have is 180 degrees of
in a go-kart
of movement.
Yeah, if you're in a go-kart, you're good.
But if you need to go lock to lock and you're like,
hold on, let me reach over.
That was also in the S and X, not the Y.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Anyway, all right. Now that I'm up,
you're all fired up.
I feel all fired up. It's time for lightning round. I'll go first. Speaking of Elon, X is going to have, X being Twitter, is going to have audio and video calls coming to Android, iOS, Mac, and PC. Just another thing that Elon's trying to do to make X the all-in-one app that you use for everything. So I don't know why he thinks this will be awesome, but there you go. The only thing that I see on that's kind of cool is it will have no phone number needed. That's kind of cool. It'll just use your username and stuff to call someone. So you actually could
similar to like other VoIP things, right?
Well, name one though. I mean, all of them have to have a phone number attached. Even
Skype.
Google Voice has a number attached to it.
You don't need a phone number for Skype?
Is Skype still around?
Yeah, it's got to be.
You don't know.
And they do have a phone number, like a dial-in.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Anyway, that's who knows when that's actually coming. He just, you know how he is. He'll just announce something and say, "Oh yeah, coming soon." And then 3 years later it'll still be in development because it's harder to do than what he said. Jaron, lightning round.
Yeah, Philips Hue, the maker of the smart bulbs and other smart home products, they are now supporting Matter. And the cool thing is, Matter is the new smart home standard supported by all of the big players, Apple, Google, Amazon. So now all the Philips Hue stuff, all the way back to 2012 when they first launched, will be Matter compatible.
Oh, cool.
That's why it matters.
That's great. Good timing. So very, very surprising. I'm glad they're not creating e-waste and are updating every single product they've ever put out. So
yeah, that's
amazing.
Good guy, Philips Hue.
My lightning round is just the one thing I got cut off on when I started having jittery internet over here. It's the Casetify Ultra Bounce case for iPhone series. Retains MagSafe charging, but it adds your phone will now be protected for 32.8 feet.
What?
That's the drop. They say that's the drop protection.
8? So once you go to
32.8.
0.9, it's just
Apparently
game over,
that's it.
man.
They just don't want
33
to.
feet is too
You know,
much.
I bet you they support it'll go up to 35, but they're like, let's bring that down.
I need a little
Wow,
extra.
that case is a chonker. That
It
is
is a big
huge.
boy.
Look at that thing. It's got air gapped bumpers on the corners.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is for construction workers or people that specifically work on building skyscrapers.
So you
Or
dropped
very-
this. There's still a good chance that if it encountered any rocks,
Yeah.
you would lose your
That's-
screen for
If
sure.
you can, but there you go. So that was an IFA Casetify proprietary EcoShock TM material.
Did they say how much this is going to cost?
I don't think they did. I think they just said you're going to see it come out to the market in the next few weeks.
All right.
So,
Well, there you go. If you need
there
a
you go.
rugged case, that might be a good option.
If you do a lot of maybe this is for the rock climbers,
Maybe.
I'm not into that.
Rock
They're
climbers,
people too.
rock climbers that only climb up to 32.8 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Not higher than that, though.
Or they have somebody on belay. They don't let the people below them belay more than 32 feet. So they
That's
can
right,
catch
yeah.
it,
Smart.
There you go.
All right. Well, there you go. That's the episode for today, for this week. Before we leave, shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Thank you so much. Patreon.com/GadgetSpot. If you donate $6 a month or more, then you get a shout out, which Jaron has right now.
Thank you to our ultra special tech daddy tier, David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffle Ball Tony. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks to Always Reboot After Registry Changes, Andy Bird, Be the 8-Year-Old, Travis Johnson, get geeky stickers for your computer, laptop, or have me design something for you at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. Jeremy, No Name, No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Motskis, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Insta and TikTok. Me, speechless like a Japanese video game, ... Josh D, Dick Messerly, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe. If you have to blow your horn, chances are the song is not worth hearing. Ryan M and Adam Hecht.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, well, we'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Download us again. Tell a friend to download us too. See if they, like what we got to offer. But until then, wait, who's closing the show? Lando's not here. Jaron, close the show.
Hey, we love you guys.